Hello. Once you've taken the PI behavioral assessment, we take that information and turn it into a PI behavioral pattern. In that pattern, we measure 4 different drives, or the 4 factors. They are A, dominance, the drive for influence on people and events; B, extroversion, the drive for social interaction; C, patience, the drive for consistency and stability; and D, formality, the drive for rules and structure. Understanding each one of these 4 drives will help us better understand a person and how they operate in the workplace. PI has administered over 20 million assessments, and to make it easy for you, we've created 17 reference profiles. Think of it as shorthand or an easy, digestible way for you to understand a wide variety of behaviors and needs. Your behavioral pattern might not fit exactly into one of these reference profiles, but most likely they'll come close. Your reference profile most closely matches the promoter profile. Let's talk about some basic needs and behaviors of the promoter profile. So first and foremost, relationships. Access to people, connections with others. That's a huge driver for you. Also, your flexibility around details and your flexibility around process. You do not need a lot of structure. You are also more of a team player, so you're a little bit more unassuming and unselfish and helpful in your approach. And you can be patient when you need to. It's somewhat situational for you depending on if you've got a little bit more or a little bit less. It's not a huge driver for you. I wouldn't say that you're overly fast-paced, and I wouldn't say either that you are super methodical either. You're somewhere in between. Let's talk a little bit about some areas of strength and also some areas of challenges that come along with the promoter profile. So for you, the biggest strength is your ability to share and to talk about your ideas and to connect those ideas with people. You are someone that absolutely is at your best when you're with and around people and you have something that you want to connect with them on or sell them on or persuade them on. It's really a strength of yours to build that connection, to build that relationship. You can walk into a room and immediately connect with somebody else. Some challenges that come along with a promoter profile is that while relationships are really important for you, sometimes the details that back up those relationships aren't always there. So you're not one that loves structure. You're not someone that loves a lot of rules and guidelines. So sometimes it's a lot of, yes, let's do this, let's make sure it's happening, but the substance beneath it may not be there right away. That may be something you have to really work for, is getting those details to back up those conversations that you're having with those connections. Let's talk a little bit about decision making for your profile. It's absolutely based with and through people. So decision making for you is about being collaborative. It's about working with others. It's not about having every detail right. It's not about having every piece of information in place. In fact, you don't want to get yourself into a decision-making process where you have to have a lot of detail. In fact, that starts to become demotivating to you. So being more off the cuff, being more flexible, being more laid back, that's your type of decision-making style. Communication style, again, going back to people, all about being persuasive and connecting and relationship focused. You definitely have a selling tendency in there. It's important for you to be able to communicate in an open and lively format and without a lot of rules or restrictions around that. So you don't necessarily need the rules around what's the right thing to say or how should I say this specifically. Instead, it's more off the cuff for you. It's going to be more laid back, and it's more about the feeling of the conversation rather than the actual specifics of the conversation. In summary, let's think of some words that we can use to describe your profile. So definitely people and relationship focused, flexible with the rules, somewhat patient, and a team player. but overall someone who's persuasive and selling and a connector with others. That's a little bit more about your promoter profile.